You can achieve mouse-like precision with motion controls. This is called gyro. When implemented well, they allow you to have most of the advantages of a mouse on a controller. You will want to watch this video until the end to learn how to do these flicks. Check this out. Easily controlling your recoil? No problem. Tracking targets like a mouse? No sweat. Precisely snapping to any angle? Done. Multiple actions at once without letting go of your aim? Yeah, I think you get it. Gyro Aim is great, it's faster than sticks, and is motion controlled like a mouse. But what about aim assist? And to that I say, for what? This is literally just a mouse. No need for that here. If a mouse doesn't need it, gyro doesn't either. This may sound bad, but it really isn't. Aim assist with gyro can feel like a magnet throwing off your aim. So trust me, you wouldn't want this anyway. 2 months ago I made a video about gyro implementation on this game, but they fixed most of the problems that I talk about in that video, and they added a bunch of stuff. So since this video is a part 2, I will try to not repeat myself here. But just in case you haven't seen my previous video, these are the essential settings that you need to activate to have a good gyro experience. Press options and go to settings. Now gyro has its own tab instead of being hidden on the controller tab. And hey, now you can test most of your settings without leaving the menu. That's super useful. Now, you can choose if gyro will be active only when you aim, on all the time, or on except when you aim. Now choose your preferred sensitivity. This slider follows a natural sensitivity scale, which means if you play other games of gyro, you can just use the same sensitivity here. When set to 1 degree in real life will translate to 1 degree in game. But that is way too slow, so you will want to use at least 2 or 3. Now use the analog sticks to get close to your target and use the gyro to do the rest of the tracking. Remember to firmly hold the controller using the palm of your hands, and go have fun! Or go have fun after watching this video, please. Also, this isn't a Wiimote. Moving the controller like this won't do much. Use your wrists. Now let's explore the new additions. Most options that I talked about in the previous video are still here, but they added a bunch of new stuff like a new gyro orientation. Pitching moves the camera vertically on all of them, so this will only change how you move the camera horizontally. World space and player space are similar. When pointing at the horizon, swiveling will turn you most, but if your controller points toward the sky, rolling will turn you most. The main difference between these two modes is that if you are leaning the controller, pitching in world space will move you diagonally, while in player space you will move straight vertically. Local space is divided into 2 presets, yaw and roll. While using the default yaw mode, you must swivel the controller like a bus steering wheel to look sideways, whether the controller is pointing to the sky or not. If you activate gyro local orientation use roll, you must lean the controller to look sideways, whether the controller is pointing to the sky or not. I recommend using player space. They also changed the vertical sensitivity. When set to absolute, the horizontal sensitivity won't affect the vertical sensitivity, so you can choose more accurately the vertical sensitivity that you want. I prefer to use ratio set to 1, but feel free to change this if you want. Focal length scaling was added. Now the camera will move the same amount of pixels between every weapon. They also added acceleration. It's just like mouse acceleration, the faster you move, the further you go. I personally don't use acceleration, but there are some cool techniques that you can do on COD and Fortnite with some crazy acceleration settings. So I'm sure people will be happy to see this here. Now my favorite addition is here, FlickStick. FlickStick allows you to snap the camera to the angle that you pointed with the right stick. If you want to turn slowly, put the analog forward first, then sweep in the direction that you want. I won't go much in depth on these settings because the description already does a great job of explaining what each setting does. But I will highlight the flick to turn time. For some people, flicking may be way too fast, so you can slow it down by increasing the flick to turn time. You know, the most important setting was missing in the previous update. It's a gyro enable button. After controlling your recoil, you would be obligated to hold the controller in an uncomfortable position to recenter the camera. When using a mouse, you can just lift the mouse and reposition it. But with a controller, you need a button for that. On the controller tab, now you can bind whatever button to one or more of these actions. Reset vertical rotation is a recenter button. With disable gyro hold, gyro will be disabled as long as you hold this button. Toggle gyro will toggle gyro on and off when this button is pressed. These additions are great, But there's only one problem. You can't bind the same button to multiple actions, so you will need to sacrifice a button. I chose to sacrifice my emote button. Now my scoreboard is bound to the D-pad down and gyro off is set to the click of the trackpad. Most games implement this button this way, but my favorite method is to set the gyro off button to a long press of the R3 button. That way I can punch and disable gyro with the same button without one interfering with the other. I'm sure that there are better solutions to this problem that don't require players to sacrifice buttons. Maybe they will add this in the future and I will have to make a part 3 of this video. But for now, that's all that I wanted to share today. For more motion control games and tips, leave a like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching!